You eating berries?
I'm eating grapes.
Yeah. Nice.
They were almost ready before I left.
Mm-hmm.
And we came back on Sunday, and Abby went straight to the garden and just started eating her way around. So
Oh, is she home with you right now?
she flew in with me, and then when her new beau picked her up, pulled in about 10 minutes after we did, and
okay.
they
So she's got a new beau, not the old beau.
yes,
That's exciting. And
yes.
and you've met.
I met him right. He brought her up to fly out, and instead of her driving home. And I was telling somebody about him the other day, and I said, well, let me just put it this way. He asked her what he should call me as they were driving up here, walked in the door, gave me a big hug, and said, should I call you Abby's mom, Mrs. Herman, Mary?
Nice.
And then
nice.
when he showed up in the driveway this time, he showed up with a huge bouquet of red roses for her, and then went back to his car and presented me with an orchid.
Oh, wow. This guy's he's either is a practiced hand or is really into your daughter, or both.
Pretty well. Yeah, I know. I think he does really like her. He can finish a sentence. He makes eye contact. He actually came for dinner when he brought her up here, stayed for dinner and asked what he could do to help. What? And cleared the table. Yes, this is Abby's new boyfriend. I know.
He's a keeper. I mean, yes. Complete sentences and flowers for mom right there.
Yeah. Where's he from?
Eugene.
Okay.
And they were friends before they started. I mean, I think it took about 5 minutes, but her boss is his mom. So, and she adores his mom. And I think the feeling is mutual. So,
Oh, that's nice. That must put your mind to rest, Mary, after the last boyfriend.
Yeah, the last one was pretty much a loser. So yeah. Although his stuff is still in their shared apartment. Awkward. So that has yet to be. I'm going down tomorrow to help.
I was going to say that's what happened when loser boyfriends move out. They leave their shit with you.
Well, he left his shit, and the question is whether or not he's coming back to school. He's the kind of kid who, I mean, like, everything seems fairly disposable, including his many pairs of very expensive sneakers.
Well, so, yeah, I mean, just his family was like ready to go off and spend all this money on a vacation and a resort and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So he may not even come back to school, but in which case she will put all of his stuff on Craigslist and hopefully make some money.
Well, there you go. There you go. Right. If he's got expensive shoes.
Is he unresponsive? Like, has she reached out to him?
She has, and yet, yes and yes. He is unresponsive, and she has reached out to him. But she is leaving for training for camp this weekend, and then has to move out of her apartment a couple days after she gets back from camp. So I'm going to go back down tomorrow and spend the night and hopefully just get her apartment essentially packed up.
I just give this guy an ultimatum and say, look, if you don't come pick your stuff up by date certain, we're going to sell it or give it away.
Yeah, I think she has pretty much done that, except that she's has like this much concern that, and now that it's over, it's done. But her current boyfriend stayed in her apartment with her dog while we were away, and she was pretty anxious that the old one would show up while the new one was living in his space and in their space. So, but he didn't. So, I mean, he's in Santa Barbara.
I was going to
so it's
say
not-
20 somethings have had to probably deal with more awkward things than that in their lives.
Right. What's the camp where she's working?
it's called Camp Blue Spruce, and it's the only camp of its kind in the world for food allergies. And it is where she's home. It is unbelievable. I don't exactly know where it is, but she's always left from Portland. So she's like, do I come back to Portland and then go? I said, no, you're going to be leaving. I don't know exactly where it is, but it's Camp Tulalui or something like that. It's west of Salem, about halfway to the coast. But it is a space that is normally something else, and then they go in 3 or 4 days before the campers get there, and literally, I mean, with COVID, I can't imagine that it's even not going to be even more so, but they go in and sterilize everything because they have kids who are anaphylactically allergic, seriously allergic, not just like a little preference.
Right.
But,
right.
And then she's worked in the kitchen. She's been a camp counselor. I'm not sure exactly what she's going to do, but it was started by a woman here in Portland. Her son has a beef allergy. And so she just wanted a camp for her kid to be able to go like anybody else.
Be a normal kid at a camp.
Have a great camp experience, and there just isn't one. And so there's it just for the experience, you should look it up. They have a little video online, and you'll be weeping by the end. These little tiny guys who say, I'm so excited I can go to the cafeteria and stand in line and order my lunch, because they can't.
Yeah.
And I've never had an experience where they can do anything that you and I take for granted. And
did she go there as a camper, Mary, or
no,
she only became a counselor?
She had worked at a camp in Portland for several years, and then the kid who the camp was started for worked with her and said, oh, you have celiac, would you be any interested at all? And I think this will be her 4th year. They had it virtually last year, didn't have it the year before, or something I can make. Anyway, so very excited about that, but it also comes at a time when it's like, I got to move out. I got to find a place to live. I got to put storage.
So the camp lasts right up to Labor Day, maybe?
No, it is next Saturday and Sunday training, and then Monday through Friday or Saturday.
Oh, so it's short. Yeah.
What's it called?
Camp Blue Spruce.
Oh.
But there's a really sweet little, they probably have new videos, but they do, it's just I hate to say typical summer camp, but it is a typical summer camp for some.
Right, which is the whole purpose, right?
Yeah.
To just be normal, to normalize that.
Would otherwise
Yeah.
can't be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, and it's on the water, so that will be nice. Even though I hope it'll cool down by then. But are you staying cool, Astrid?
Well, I'm currently in the one room that has a little window AC unit. Steve's office. He just left for California earlier today
Oh,
to
for
visit
how
some
long?
friends. Nah, just a short week. So it's just me and the pets at the moment. Freya is still at camp. Comes back on
Oh,
Friday.
where's
I'm going-
she?
She's in at Camp Westwind on the coast outside Lincoln City.
Oh, at the dunes.
No.
No?
Well, no, it's right at the mouth of the Salmon River at Cascade Head, just a smidge north of Lincoln City. Super nice place. Used to be a former YWCA camp
Mhm.
that was then taken over by a private nonprofit. And I was tangentially involved in that transaction through my old company. And then have been going there ever since, basically been going there since I knew I wanted to go there before Freya was born. I think I first went there on a work related thing when I was pregnant with her. And then we've been going there. We've been going to mother-child camp. They're famous for their parent-child camps.
Oh, fun.
Like
They do
family
a
camp.
3-day
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's one or 3 sessions dedicated to moms and their kids, which were awesome. And then we went for many years doing either mother-child or family camp with Steve and sometimes with friends. And then she became old enough to go off on her own on overnight camp.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's where she is.
Nice.
And that's a week or 2 weeks or?
It's a week.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's good fun. And it's typical camp activities, lots of arts and crafts and skits and playing in the mud and playing in the river and kayaking and overnight.
So how does it feel to be by yourself? Are you like, yeah,
Weird.
I'm by myself? Or like,
Yes,
oh, this
and
feels a
also I'm
little
like,
creepy
oh,
and
wait,
weird. Or,
it's a little weird.
uh-huh.
I've got the pets to keep me company.
Yeah.
And he put in a heroic day yesterday watering the garden.
Mm.
But hopefully I
Yeah,
don't
which
have
is probably a full day's job. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just
Starts all
my
over again
instructions
in the
are to
morning.
keep harvesting and just look for spot treatments that may be required. He gave everything such a deep watering that hopefully it'll be okay. We'll see. But yeah, it's weird. Like I was just thinking as I came up here, I'm like, that's the last time I've been home alone. It's been a while. I don't know what to do with myself.
Like, I can eat or not. I can cook or
I'm
not.
not.
I can get dressed or not.
Exactly. I can wander around the house naked. Perfect.
But you're gonna have a lot of produce to eat by yourself. Yeah, Astrid.
Yes, that too. Yeah. I may be sneaking zucchini on people's porches here any minute now.
That picture of that zucchini on the porch.
I know, right? Yeah, no, there's a lot of berries coming in. And the irony is like we, on the recommendation of some friends, got all these beautiful, blackberries and Marion berries and yada yada. And you know what? Nothing tastes as good as the fucking invasive Himalayan blackberries.
Mm.
Those are so mean. I've got a couple that are ripe now, and it's like, do I dare even try to pick them through I've got grapes now, and the grapes are great until you go away for 2 weeks, and then the Himalayans come through and go, yeah, try to get that blueberry or that that whatever.
Yeah.
Because they've got so many thorns on them.
Oh, they're just mean. Yeah.
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 They've got thorns coming out of the thorns.
Thorns on front thorns.
They do, and they don't let go. It's like blackberries are mean, but at least you can sort of find a little space to hold on to it and pull it out. Himalayan, you just hold them with your clippers.
Right. But they're also tasty. So that'll be me. I may have to suit up though, not go out there in a tank top.
You
That's what
worry
you want to
about
do.
ticks?
Huh?
Do you worry about ticks?
No, not
No.
generally.
I was just wondering if I should be more worried about ticks.
Yes.
Because I walk in Rock Creek Park, a
My
couple
sister was
times a
just
week.
there.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a big park.
He just went to,
It is a big park.
there's a wildlife preserve. A wildflower wildlife preserve
Mm-hmm.
on the Pennsylvania side of.
On the Pennsylvania side of Rock Creek Park? No, Rock Creek Park is the one that comes down into DC. It goes up into Maryland, but I don't think it goes all the way to Pennsylvania that I'm aware of.
I thought it was Rock Creek Park.
Yeah.
She just came back yesterday.
Yeah. Rock Creek Park is the one that runs north-south from
Very urban.
Maryland down to the Lincoln Memorial, basically.
Long bike path.
Yeah, and the zoo is in Rock Creek Park, and I live near the part of the park that has an outdoor like Shakespeare theater called Carter Barron, and it also has an outdoor tennis stadium that was always empty. It's like a tennis stadium, a small tennis stadium, but a tennis stadium surrounded by tennis courts. So it has like maybe 10 public tennis courts, 10 or 15. And this last week has been this Citibank hosted tennis tournament. And so I usually either walk over, it's about a mile from my house. I either walk over and just, walk, or now, because I have my car, I drive over park, and then I can take like a 4 or 5 mile walk in the park.
Mm-hmm.
But these tennis fans are, I mean, maybe like any sport enthusiast, they're just like nuts. They're like packed, they're parked on all the soccer fields. They're trying to charge $20 for parking over there. And you even see like neighbors.
If it's a tennis tournament, they'll pay.
Yeah, you'll see like the neighborhood around has all been like no parking unless you're local on the street. And people are like renting their driveways out for people to park, which I love. I'm just like,
yeah.
You have some people out there renting their driveways. Yeah. But it's been almost 2 weeks. So yesterday I was like, how much longer is this thing going on?
Right?
But apparently it just ended. It's been rain. I mean, which is good because it's been raining every night, like storming, pouring every night right around the time. I think the games must start like late afternoon. But it's like one of those things when you're out in the woods, usually you're just kind of out in the woods and you feel like you're outside the city. With that tennis game, every time, yeah, you'd hear it like all through the
silence. Are any of the courts covered or?
No, it's an open stadium. Yeah. So, when you walk in, it's like any open stadium, you see the seats. I'd never been in, it's always been locked. But
interesting.
I didn't even look into it. I'm so uninterested in tennis that I was just like, it just felt like an annoyance to me as a local person who uses the park. Yeah. But I guess it's good that it's utilized like that once in a while. But.
Yeah, that's wild. I was half expecting you to say that the tennis courts had been taken over by pickleball fanatics, which is what's been happening here in Portland.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen. Over in Arlington, there were tons of courts, I guess. And even the new playground and like basketball court thing that was built during COVID in my neighborhood has more pickleball than basically anything else. And you go out there and there's, I don't know, tons of people playing pickleball. Mm-hmm. But here here in the district, we must be behind the times. I haven't seen any pickleball here. Lots of basketball here and this one tennis stadium, but.
Oh, you could start a craze.
Have you played pickleball?
I have friends who keep trying to rope me into it. It's like
I've never played. Yeah, I don't know.
I grew up in a tennis family, and my brother plays. He calls it padel, but it's paddle tennis, and it's like pickleball, but I don't know how it's different, but apparently according to him, and he knows everything, or so he would like to believe, they don't have it here. They have pickleball here, but they don't have paddle. And
It's a different size court or something, probably.
It's glass around, it's an outside thing. I mean, they do have inside courts, but it's glass around the outside, and you can play off the court. You can play it back onto the court.
So something more like a racquetball.
Kind of is the little bit that I understand that I got an explanation. My brother just had a tournament in Holland, but
he went all the way to Holland to go play in a tournament?
He lives there.
Oh.
Yeah. No, he is the number one player in Holland for his age, but he had to get special clearance because he's not Dutch. He's an American. And so he had to get some sort of, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, I just realized, and I haven't even done the deck today. Excuse me for a moment while I do that.
Astrid, did you say you do have grapes or you don't?
We do.
You do. Okay.
Yeah. And we have red and purple. I mean, green and purple, or green and red, and they're all table grapes. They're not really intended to be for wine production or anything.
I have just these little, I call them champagne grapes because that's what my neighbor called, and they came over from her house, and they're delicious.
Just small. I should see if ours are ripe yet. I didn't see any the other day.
Well, they do kind of explode. It's like they're not there, and then all of a sudden, they're these little tiny
more than you know what to do with.
Hard things, and then it's like, whoa. Yeah.
What do you do with yours? Just eat them as table grapes?
I do. I get Dawn to come over and pick a lot. At least I did last year.
Where's Dawn when you need her?
I know. Does anyone know when they're getting back? Or if they are back?
They're not back. I know that. We're driving down. Well, I guess I don't know that for sure, but they were driving down to Detroit, and I think they're out maybe through the end of this week or this weekend. So they were driving down to Detroit and seeing some friends of Dawn's from, high school or college, and then flying back out of Detroit. So, but I'm pretty sure that they were spending another week with their parents before they did all that. I'm pretty sure, although maybe I'm not always good on the details.
Well, I know they left like 2 or 3 days. I think they left on Wednesday, and then we left on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember. I think they were staying longer than me, but I don't know. But the other part of that is I have a stand-up freezer in the basement that has nothing but fruit and jam and grapes, and that's all in it.
So what do you do with the grapes? You just freeze them, or do you preserve them?
I do. I freeze them, and I've never been a big frozen grape fan until I did it with these. And I really could never freeze another thing of grapes, and I probably would have enough. But what else do I do?
And you eat them.
Take them away. Yeah.
You eat them frozen too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, maybe that's what we'll do. We have a chest freezer. And I'm always, it's always way more than you can eat. And I don't know what you do with, I guess you could make a chutney out of grapes. I've done that. I've thrown that in.
I like them.
A grape zucchini chutney sounds good, doesn't it?
There you go. I like them because the juice, I have juiced them before, but I don't have a juicer anymore. And I like them in like chicken salad, but there's only so many you can put in a chicken salad.
Right.
But
my friend Stacy, who you guys met at the block party, has a big grape arbor, and she does, it sounds like over a long weekend, she harvests all her grapes and makes grape juice that she can't, cans, or, in like mason jars.
Yeah. Does she have the purple grapes or the?
She has the purple grapes. Yeah. So it's a really rich purple grape juice. And then she drinks it throughout the year. I had some when I was there in Portland, but she's always trying to get her friends, hey, come visit Portland this like one weekend where she can like basically use their labor. And our friend JJ was like, don't be fooled by Stacy. She asked you to come.
I'm free the rest of the year, but that week, sorry. Yeah. Well, a friend of mine.
I'm interested to see what it is. And I think as her arbor gets bigger, like it's just a bigger and bigger job every year to get them all picked. And
does she use a press or
I don't know, because I haven't been. I mean, I don't know how she does the whole thing, but
a friend of mine had her grandmothers that went through her grandmother, her mom, and then she had it, and she let me use it a couple of years when her mom was no longer doing it. But it was literally, she's a nurse, and it literally was, the tubing was replaced with surgical tubing, and it was a huge aluminum, which was problematic, but whatever. Aluminum pan with like a steamer and then this tube, and you put everything in there. She washed them, but her parents did everything organically, so she wasn't really worried
wasn't
about
pesticide or things like that. Yeah.
So you don't have to do anything. I mean, you don't pick all the grapes off, you don't do anything, but just wash and make sure that you don't get too many spiders in there. And then you have a little basin on the bottom that has a little bit of water. It steams them, and then it just I don't know how it works, but then it just magically comes out this tube, and you just do it up, and then throw out the
waste, the skin and the stems and stuff. Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work. It's really hot, and kind of like any canning thing, it's
right.
A lot of work, kind of fast and sticky, but once it's done, you have a ton of juice, and it's really good. It's like kind of like sludge, but you put a little bit of seltzer in there. It's good.
Now I'm thinking I should maybe get more creative with my grapes this year.
Well, if you want to learn the juicing process, I can let you know when Stacy puts out the call. Surely she wouldn't take advantage of people she's just met. You could like stop by for
hi, word is on the street.
I just happen to be by.
Yeah.
Be in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And have a couple of empty, clean jars.
Oh, okay. Well, I got it set. Should we get going?
Sure.